He was a former AEW One top star. His former star name is Keith Lee. So we haven't seen him since about 2023 of last year's. So idea of regarding of Keith Lee. Keith Lee AEW return was to discuss was a Tony Added long absence, saying idea regarding of Keith Lee has not appeared on AEW programming since back in 2023, but his name has not been completely off selective of backstage, saying idea is in with a slight update. Is speaking to a powerful select reports that AEW sources told to confirm Keith Lee was to discuss for a return to programming a number of months ago. So a slight update also noted that those plans had not come to fruition so far. Indeed, we told were said to be tentative plans at such a time, but what if those plans had gone forward? Has wasn't a nationally indeed would have already happened by now. It is also unclear whether those discussions ever made their way to Keith Lee himself, adding, as it has Keith Lee has been absent from a since playing Paul from the Wars in pay-per-views back in 2023. After it was revealed that he had been dealing with in surgery that had been nothing since back in 2022, and he has not wrestled for the public company since. As it was back in June of last year's 2025, Keith Lee addressed his status after a friend reached out to wish him well. He made it clear that he was doing fine, but his return was not something he was to control. I am cold, fine. It is not up to me when it comes to a cause to return, but blessing to you as well. Keith Lee had also responded to a supporter who sung his to was to renounce an event saying pain to pause for his return. He advocated a comment, but it said that was not necessary. It said, I've been good for quite some time too. I do appreciate the comment, but no same pain required. And things will happen the way they are supposed to end. And totally purpose will solve itself. Adding, and it was also noted that Keith Lee has not been a regular backstage at AEW tapings, and there has been no word, and that he has been allowed to get to get clear. That kind of orthodoxy takes multiple weeks before a wrestler returns to on televisions. Keith last AEW match taking place on inclusion Honey Bash back in December 2023. After he underwent bonding case since then, the fans have to continue asking when the Limitless One might finally return soon. That's just what remains for now. And this update is that AEW has at last talk about bringing Keith Lee to be back, and whether that turns into a constant return remains unclear, but his name has been part of national discussions after more than 2 years away from AEW television. So, what do you think about AEW announcement discussing a Keith Lee return after his long absence? So you can share, like, and subscribe. So we like this content on my YouTube videos, and we haven't seen Keith Lee since 2023. So he wasn't a top star. A former star has only one superstar, limitless Keith Lee. And we haven't seen Keith Lee since 2023. He was a part of Honey Bash back in 2022. He might get closer to his return date and time. It was revealed that limitless Keith Lee, as it was revealed for him after his surgery, since after last year's back in 2025. So, do you think limitless Keith Lee could make his return to closer AEW return very soon? So, we like this video, and don't forget to smash support all my love advocates below. And don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. So, we haven't seen Keith Lee since. Let me look it up quick. Let me look. Last year's. Let me see. Okay, as of Keith Lee's status since last year, Keith Lee has been out of absence for nearly 2 years since his last AEW match on the closing Honey Bash back in December 2023. After he undefeated bonding case, he was pulled from that match with at World's End to end its close surgery, and that had been running since back in 2022. After he required double surgeries in early 2024. After his mental health and his return. added back in September of last year 2025, Keith possibly influenced that a return to the ring with Cody happened till he did not give a timeline. He emphasized that his mental health had been good for a long time and rest expressed gratitude for your support, saying you honor me like take in these moments to remind you that you also are boundless back in soon of last is 2025. So as of now, Keith Lee has not wrestled for AEW since late last is 2023, and a lot of his name has been part of national conversations as no wrestle return date has been announced since yet to speedy in his full recovery. So when I do hard announce, Limitless Keith Lee could make his return on his comeback very soon. So don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And by next time, so let me know about your thoughts about Keith Lee. And by next time, peace.